All right, another week down, another week of waiver wires to go. Let's go. Week 12. Running back target, we got Ty Chandler, 47% rostered. He had 10 carries for 73 yards, another 4 receptions for 37 yards in week 11, 15 PPR points. Moving forward, fifth easiest schedule for running backs. Only plays one top half defense against the running back position moving forward. I'm picking up Ty Chandler wherever he's available. I think he can take over as the RB1 in Minnesota. Next target, we got Michael Carter, only 7% rostered. One of the reasons why he's listed here. Widely available. Guys behind James Conner are not impressive. Go and get Michael Carter if you can, if you have the room for him, but don't burn any fab. Don't burn a waiver wire priority spot on Michael Carter. Now, this guy, Zach Charbonnet, he would be number one if he wasn't rostered in over 50% of leagues. Likely to be sold out at this point, not going to get him anywhere. On top of it, he does have a tough schedule moving forward, going up against San Francisco, Dallas, San Fran again, Philadelphia, Tennessee. Only bottom half defense he faces is the Steelers, and that is in week 17. So you got to be lucky enough to make it to the championship to get that plus matchup. Regardless, he will volume his way to some RB2 numbers at the bare minimum. Moving on to wide receivers, we have Rashid Shaheed, rostered in he's about 40% of sleeper leagues he's rostered in right now. Michael Thomas, though, the last report as of 2 p.m. on Monday states that he's going to take some time to recover. We've been through it, out with the old and with the new. Let's get Rashid Shaheed on these rosters. In limited snap share of targets that are 20 plus yards downfield, Shaheed is 10th in targets, third in receptions, second in receiving yards behind only Tyreek Hill, and fifth in receiving touchdowns. Olave will be the guy that does it all. Shaheed will get those downfield targets. Carr's already been connecting with him. Go and get Rashid Shaheed if he's available in your league. Next guy up, Jaden Reed, rostered in 43% of leagues, 69% snap share in week 11. He's getting some usage in the running game. He had over 40 yards and a rushing touchdown in week 11. Aaron Jones is going down, so I do think that on top of maybe getting him more involved in the running game, I think they're going to rely on the receivers a little bit more, averaging 5.1 targets per game and getting heavy red zone usage. Go after Jaden Reed. All right, next guy, Demario Douglas, 45% rostered in leagues. Next three games come against bottom six teams against the wide receiver position. Douglas has also received no less than 7 targets over the last 3 games, and there's nobody else to help in New England. Go and get yourself some Demario Douglas. And then this guy, I'm more so calling my shot on, Michael Wilson. He's been injured last couple weeks. Outside of one game all season, he really hasn't had a breakout game. But of all the wide receivers that have at least 30 targets on the season, Wilson ranks sixth in average depth of target. And with Kyler Murray coming back looking like himself, I think that those downfield targets start to become a little bit more valuable now that Kyler Murray's on the field and Michael Wilson should be good to go in week 12. Moving on to tight ends, we got Isaiah Likely. Really quick, back to wide receivers. OBJ's worth an ad. He is rostered in under 50% of leagues. Go add OBJ if you have the roster spot for him. He's not elite, but he's a solid wide receiver that will put up numbers. He's been looking a little bit more like his old self, a little bit more agility there. And still, they're not using Zay Flowers downfield. Go and get yourself OBJ. But back to the tight ends, we got Isaiah Likely, 6% rostered. Mark Andrews down for the year. Need I say anymore? Likely's going to get targeted. He is a receiving tight end. He does well when he's targeted heavily, when he has the snap share. I think that they are going to see a lot of utilization at the tight end position continue. I don't think just because Andrews is out that they are going to shy away from that. Look for Likely to be the number one ad at tight end this week. If you can't get him to replace Mark Andrews, though, look for Kate Otten. the least sexiest name I've mentioned so far, but he's played at least 91% of the snaps in every game so far this season. He's averaging 5.2 targets and 4.2 receptions over the past 5 games. There's not a lot out there at tight end, but with K. Dotton yeah, so underutilized in term, not the right word, but 27% rostered. Go get him. He's widely available. Add him. There's worse you can do out there at tight end. Our last position we'll be covering are the quarterbacks. We got Derek Carr, 40% rostered, Baker Mayfield, 48% rostered, and Gardner Minshew, 17% rostered. That is the order that I would have them in. Right now, Derek Carr has the second easiest schedule moving forward. He only has one bottom half matchup rest of season. And over the past 4 healthy games that he's played, he has 3 games of over 300 passing yards, averaging 1.5 passing touchdowns over that time. He's unlikely to win you a week. However, he's unlikely to lose you a week. If you need a guy to replace a Burrow, go and get yourself Carr. It's widely available. Again, 40% rostered. So most leagues you can find him in. If you can't though, go and take a look at Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield goes up against Indianapolis in Week 12. Indianapolis allowing 2 point more points more than their opponent's average to the quarterback position this year. The Colts, they have put up 20 points against every team they've faced so far. They're the only team to put up at least 20 points in every game so far. This should keep Baker Mayfield passing. And that brings me to Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, 17% rostered. Tampa Bay right now is 28th in terms of points allowed to the quarterback position. They've allowed a lot of points to the quarterback position. They haven't really fixed that up. However, they are great against the running back position. So, despite the Jonathan Taylor breakout that's happening right now, I think that they start to go back to Gardner Minshew in this game plan. I think he's going to throw about 40 times in this game. I think that Minshew, Pittman, maybe even Josh Downs will be valuable players in this game. So I'm not shying away from Gardner Minshew if I need a quarterback streamer. That'll do it for this week in the waiver wire. Go out, get those guys. Let's let's start tidying up for the playoffs, boys. Let's get it going. Hey,